evening. Today is Monday, November 1st, 2021. Today is the regular session of the Board of School Trustees of the School City of East Chicago. The time is now 6:02 p.m. The place is School City of East Chicago Administration Building, 1401 East 144th Street in East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. And it's also being shown via live stream at www.stec.k12.im.us. This is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. We do ask that everyone be mindful of presenters as well as the board. The first item, can you please have roll call? Ms. Bigler?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Present.
Trustee Gomez?
Present.
Trustee Williams?
Present.
Trustee Smith?
Present.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Present. Can we please rise for the pledge of allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start off the meeting with a moment of silence. One of our students at Black Middle School died yesterday as a result of an unfortunate incident. So I'd like to start the meeting off with a moment of silence. Thank you.
Next, we'll move to the presentation portion of our meeting. I'm sorry, it will be the approval of the agenda. May I have a motion for approval?
Madam President, make a motion to approve the agenda.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval. Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Bigler, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Now we will move to the presentation for today, this evening, and Dr. Billy.
Good evening again, everyone. I have asked all school building leaders and departments to present to the community and to the board their improvement goals or any goals that they have for their specific departments. Tonight, by volunteerism, we have East Chicago Central High School. They opted to go first. So tonight they're going to present their school improvement goals for the 21-22 school year. Mr. Brown?
You can we can hear you from here, or you can go on the other side, however you like. Whatever you want to do.
All right. You're right. Go to the mic. Go to the mic. Yeah.
Well, do they need hats from here?
Oh, I can see.
Okay.
Go to the mic. Yeah, that's cool.
Once again, good evening. Like Dr. Philly said, we are here to present some of our 3 school improvement goals for this school year. Today, I have with me myself, Adrian Brown, the principal, Ms. Lisa Melendez, thank you.
Here you go. Once the green's on, then we're good.
All right, once again, we have Ms. Lisa Melendez, our assistant principal, Mr. Dave Tokars, instructional leader, and Ms. Marley, our CT and adult ed director. Next slide, Jeremy. All right, first, our first school improvement goal for 2021-22. Throughout the 2021-22 school year, East Chicago Central will implement a system of supports and interventions specific to students who are at risk of being classified as chronic absentees and or students who are at risk of not graduating. The impact of these efforts will be first to increase of 4.8% in the school's overall attendance rate, reduce the number of students with 10 or more unexcused days absent by 88 students, an increase of 6.9% in the school graduation rate, and a 7.7% decrease in the percentage of students utilizing a graduation waiver. Next slide, Jeremy. All right, so what we did was we have a chart here with our attendance rate from 2015-16 school year through this past school year. If you notice, starting in 2017-18, we started to go upwards. Obviously, come 2020-21, COVID hit, and we got hit hard as far as attendance due to students not being in attendance due to for whatever reason. But as we can see, the previous 3 years, we did improve our attendance rate each year until the COVID year. Next slide, Jeremy. Our graduation rate, once again, we went back to the 2015-16 school year. You notice from then we had a little drop off in 2016-17, but after that, each year we start to trend up. This past Thursday, I just submitted our graduation rate audit, so we don't have our numbers for last school year as of yet. But as soon as we have it, we will give them to everybody. Next slide, and Mr. Tokars can take it over from this one.
All right, good evening. Dave Tokars, the instructional leader at East Chicago Central. And improvement goal number 2 really focuses on improving student performance in ELA and math on the standardized test scores. Our goal overall is to increase the proficiency level of students in English and math. We want to decrease students who are achieving low growth. So those who aren't showing growth in their standardized tests. We want to increase our students who are showing high growth, so those who are really moving above and beyond. And then, of course, we're always going to be focused on making sure that we have that 95% participation rate. So teachers over the past couple of years have been working extremely hard to refine their curriculum maps, and they will continue to do that in 2021-2022. Also, over the past couple of years, teachers have received quite a bit of professional development in the area to improve instruction, and we will continue that here in 21-22 also. And this year, as we move to 21-2022, the state has changed their accountability tests. So we are moving from the ISTEPELA over to the SAT this school year. So we wanted to share some data with you regarding ISTEPELA over the past several years. You can go ahead and hit it, Jeremy, to the next one. In terms of our ISTEP ELA scores going back to 2015-2016, you can see pretty steady growth along the way. 2018-2019, which is our last really, we'll call it pre-pandemic set of scores, we did have a 53.6% pass rate, which was actually above the state average. The state average that year was 50.9. So 3% above the state average, which was great for Chicago Central High School students. In 2019-20, of course, due to the pandemic, all testing was waived. And then last year in 2020-2021, we were virtual, but the state did require all of our students to come to Central to participate in testing. And that year we had a 48% pass rate. So even though the pandemic was around, we've just seen a slide of about 5% in English language arts. Jeremy, next slide, please. In terms of participation, pre-pandemic, we always hovered right around 94.75% participation rate. Of course, 2019-20, everything was waived. And then last year in 2020-21, we had about a 77% participation rate. Once again, students were at home, we were virtual, the state didn't allow any remote testing, so students had to come into the building, and some of our students, of course, did not come to the building to participate in testing. You can go to the next slide for us, Jeremy. In terms of our math scores over the course of ISTEP here, in 2015-16 through 2020-2021, you can see ISTEP math scores have consistently improved over those past 6 years. Our last set of, I'll say, official data from 2018-2019, we did have a 18.4% pass rate. While that might seem low, the state average that year was 25%. So we were within reach, about 6.9% from making sure of being on board on average with the rest of the state. 2019-20, of course, was waived. And then the students that came in last spring, they had a 17% pass rate, which is about 1.4% lower than 2 years previously. So it seems like our students were able to hold on to those math skills during that pandemic. We go on to our participation. Pre-pandemic, our average participation rate was always about 94.75% again. And then 2020-21, we had about a 78% participation rate of students coming in to participate during that time. East Chicago Central has shown improvement in ELA math over the past 5 to 6 years with ISTEP, and we plan to do those same things as we transition to the SAT this year. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Melendez, and I am the assistant principal at the high school. So goal 3 is teachers and instructional leadership for participating in co-teaching. So with collaboration with Tammy Pohl, we put the co-teachers together. It's how we imagine with a regular teacher with a co-teacher, and it works very well. Now, when they get together and they work on their professional development, and they work on what they're going to teach based off the state standards, their goal is to increase achievement proficiency and decrease subgroups in low growth of ELL and math, and also increase subgroup achieving high growth in ELL and math. So that is their goal, and together with collaboration with Tammy Pohl Special Ed, we make that happen. Okay. Okay, and then the testing that takes place at Central High School is several tests we just completed last Friday, October 22nd. We did ASVAB. Over 140 juniors and seniors participated in ASVAB. ASVAB is another way for the kids to be able to graduate from high school. It takes care of one of the buckets. They have to score a 31 in order to pass that test, in order to check off that, that part of the graduation pathway. Seniors can opt into that pathway, but they're still on the ISTEP pathway. PSAT, we just completed that last Tuesday. Over 375 sophomores and juniors. PSAT helps measure how well they'll do on the SAT. And also for special education, it gives us our data. So that way we can see where that child is and see what we need to do for that child. That really gives us some good data there. So that's why we totally push for them to take it. And also it's a practice for the juniors because they have to take the SAT in March. So it's a great practice for them. And then the ISTEP winner retest is coming. It's November 8th through the 12th. The ISTEP, the senior class is still on that road. So these are this year, it's just seniors, they're just testing this. We encourage all seniors who have not already passed both parts of ELL and math to participate. And then ISTEP for them still remains. Now they can opt into the pathway, but a lot of seniors have already passed one or the other, and they just want to go ahead and let's do this and let's finish it. And then also, it's not on here, but we do AP testing in the spring. And when the kids take that AP test, if they pass and get a 4 or 5 on that test, they can get college credit. So we encourage all the kids that's in AP classes to go ahead and register for that. And that is what I have this week.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Maren Lee. I'm the CTE and Adult Education Director at the high school. Besides testing and data, we also wanted to just share some classroom highlights with you all. All of our teachers are doing so many great things within our classrooms with our students, but we wanted to share 2 with you tonight. The first one is in Mr. Holzhauser's class. This was specifically his Introduction to Engineering and Design class. His students worked on carnival projects. So they did a whole design process where they designed, constructed carnival games. They had to do sketches, which you can kind of see in the picture for their game. They justified their design, analyzed their game for accuracy and precision, and then kind of made any necessary adjustments that they had to. And the final products were then set up at lunchtime for students to actually play. And Mr. Brown in the picture. There were also prizes and awards given. So Students were able to put into action those design process and the problem solving process in this particular project. Jeremy, you can go to the next one. Another class that we wanted to highlight is Mr. Richardson's class. This is his U.S. History honors and dual credit class. So these students are partnered with Purdue Northwest. They recently held a constitutional convention to simulate the creation of the United States Constitution. So first, students took a quiz to determine their roles, and then they completed an in-depth analysis of the Constitution. They developed rules of their debate, proposed amendments, debated, and then compromised if necessary. So students experience the inner workings of our modern democracy. So those are just two classroom highlights that we wanted to share with you all this evening. And Jeremy, you can go to the next one. But we just wanted to say thank you for the board for inviting us to speak tonight, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you to the high school team. I appreciate you guys stepping out and taking a risk to do this first. We want to definitely stress and highlight all of the academic things that are great things that are happening throughout our entire district. So the high school is today, and I want to say thank you again, and we look forward to having the others in the future to present as well. Any questions for the high school team at all? Well, it has to come from the board.
Yeah, it's from the board, not from the audience. I'm sorry, it's from the board only, not the audience portion. I just want to say thank you very much to the high school team. I tell you what, all I keep hearing is the high school Edmonton team work together. And I do not think that any one of you guys, the ones out there that one picks up, and you can tell in your presentation, it comes from you. You guys have whatever else you need. I'm sure the board and superintendent will definitely support you in absolutely everything. But I thank you guys for always showing up. Literally, your team shows up all the time together. So thank you very much. Next, we'll move to the business portion of the meeting. Our first item we have is approval of minutes, 9/22/2021. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve minutes.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval.
I second it.
Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Bigum, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 2, approval of claim docket. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion for approval of claim dockets.
Trustee Smith makes a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Trustee Rodriguez seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Bigum, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 3, approval of personnel report. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion for approval.
Trustee Williams makes a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Trustee Rodriguez seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Bigum, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 4, approval of distribution of payroll. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, make a motion to approve.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval.
Second.
Trustee Smith seconds the motion. Any questions? Ms. Bigum, roll call, please.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 5, approval of donation report. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve donations.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval.
I second the motion.
Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 6, approval of fundraiser report. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion for approval.
Trustee Smith makes a motion for approval.
Second that motion.
Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes, item number 7, approval of MOU with American School Counselor Association, Dr. Finley.
We are requesting that the Board of Trustees approve the ASCA, which stands for American School Council Association grant training for our school counselors. We have 3 new counselors that need to receive this training, and it will be fully funded by the Lilly grant.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, make a motion to approve.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval. Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes, item number 8, approval of MOU with the Contentment Foundation, Dr. Finley.
This is a grant that we were fortunate to receive. It's from an organization called the Contentment Foundation. It's about staff health and wellness and a social emotional curriculum specifically for staff. Each building will receive this curriculum in partnership with our school social workers who will be trained on delivering this curriculum. It was donated, the total amount of the grant given was $28,000. There's no additional cost to the school city of East Chicago.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make a motion for approval.
Trustee Williams makes a motion for approval.
Second.
Trustee Smith seconds the motion. Any questions? I also would like to thank Dr. Finley for getting this grant for not just students, but for the teachers and the staff, because one thing that we have heard from staff is that they're hurting just as much as children are hurting. They're overworked, they're overwhelmed, and this is gonna help them with that. So thank you very much. Any questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 9, approval of MOU renewal with the ARC of Indiana. Dr. Finley.
The ARC of Indiana is one of our partners, specifically partnering on special education and exceptional student supports. They do a lot with advocacy, planning, and education to improve the welfare of persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities, as well as their families, Medicaid waiver supports, special education mediation services, mental health services, applying for entitlement programs such as Social Security, helping with housing, as well as future planning and alternatives to recreation services. So we're seeking your approval tonight.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make the motion for approval.
Trustee Smith makes a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Trustee Rodriguez seconds the motion. Any questions?
Madam President.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Dr. Finley, is there a cost associated with this agreement?
No, there's no cost associated with this agreement.
Trustee Gomez?
That was actually gonna be my same question. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes. Item number 10, approval of usage of Central High School's football field by Andrean High School. Dr. Finley.
We're seeking approval as a past event for the use of Andran to use our football field, which was this past Friday. We're seeking formal approval so that we can go and see payment for them for other sports.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, I make the motion for approval.
Trustee Smith makes a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Trustee Rodriguez seconds the motion. Any questions?
Quick recommendation that that motion be for approval and ratification since it's already occurred.
Trustee Smith, would you be okay with changing the motion, saying approval and ratification?
Approval and ratification since the event already took place.
Approval and ratification
Approval.
of the usage. Got it? Of the usage of Central High School's football field by Andrean High School because they're playing. And Trustee Rodriguez, you okay? with that
I'm
one?
okay with that.
Any other questions? Ms. Miller?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes, item number 11, approval of Title I instruction coach / tutor professional institute, Marissa Renwald. Dr. Finley.
In partnership with our non-pubs, we receive Title I funds to be able to provide supports to their school districts. One of our public schools we partner with is Bishop Knoll. We oversee the administrative supports needed to be able to implement the services at their school. So we had to hire this Title I instruction coach / tutor on their behalf to utilize their funds to take care of this employee. So we're seeking your approval tonight.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam President, make a motion to approve.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval.
I second.
Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Any questions?
Madam President,
Comments?
just Dr. Finley, just for clarification, this service is provided to any student at Bishop Knoll or just our East Chicago students?
If any student that attends Bishop Knoll, these are their dollars to use at their school at Bishop Knoll.
Okay, thank you.
We oversee the funding for their particular Title I services.
Sure, I understand.
Any other questions?
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Smith,
Yes.
chairman Hernandez on.
Yes, next we will have open business, but we don't have any, so we'll move to curriculum and instructional. And I have item elementary, middle, secondary school information.
So we want to make sure that we keep the thing that's most important to us as we're serving in these roles in education, especially new school board members, and that is curriculum, how we connect our students to the curriculum. So one of the things I want to share with the board, so that and the community as well, we are preparing to adopt a new math curriculum next year. So that process starts this year. So in January, we have a caravan that we have to participate in. We can opt into it, but I'm going to strongly recommend that we participate in the math caravan. Is for grades K through 12. So next year, an adoption of a new math curriculum. For our elementary students, be on the lookout. We have a 100 book challenge coming in early November with all of our K through 6 students to encourage the practice of reading. So here's a snip of the letter that's going to go out to parents. This year, your child's classroom will participate in the 100 book challenge. Your child will be doing lots of reading in school and at home. The reason for this program is simple. Research shows that students who read for 1 hour every day from books, that they can read and want to read and have a much better chance for success in school and beyond. And it goes on and on. We're going to recognize students with milestone rewards. Students will work with their school coach, also known as their teacher, and their home coach, which is their parent or guardian, to practice reading skills. And we will provide, schools specifically, will provide those digital bookshelf and books to use at home for students. For middle school, I'll have an update for you next month. And for high school, they have already updated their curriculum and their presentation. And just wanted to share with you that we have a lot of great things happening and that will happen in the future for the district.
Thank you. Next, we will move to superintendent remarks.
It's almost things too fun. Here we go, superintendent remarks. We have a lot going on and it's been fun. So let me go to my next tab here. Thank you to the School City of East Chicago family for participating in the breast cancer awareness fundraiser. We raised $542 for this cause, and it was great to see support from all the staff regarding this important cause. Job fair. This past Thursday, we participated in North Township Trustees Job Fair, and we're going to host our own here at East Chicago, School City of East Chicago's Administration Building on November the 12th from 9 to 4. Right in this space, we're going to socially distance. We have information on the website. We are hiring for all positions. Thanksgiving baskets. We're going to take a different approach this year regarding our Thanksgiving meals. We're going to switch from Thanksgiving to Christmas holiday baskets. I pray that this will not be an inconvenience to family, but we are coordinating and we want to make sure that we have everything and all the details worked out for our families. So please stay tuned for additional details as we're working really hard with Sodexo and their team, as well as our internal team, to flesh out the details for holiday baskets. Apple Crunch, our elementary students had a great time on October the 29th. In collaboration with principals, Sodexo hosted our Apple Crunch. Thank you, Sodexo, for making this event possible for our students. COVID protocol. So as a follow-up, we now have a COVID navigator in our district. Her role is to do all contact tracing as related to students and staff. We have created visual flowcharts for the community and staff on our website so that everyone knows how to respond to COVID if they have symptoms or a positive test or close contact. ESSER funds, we have posted our ESSER 3 application on our website. It gives you all the specifics about our plans to meet the requirements to spend these funds. I must share with you 20% of the funds that we have been given must be allocated towards learning loss. But a majority of those funds will be specifically allocated to support the overall building infrastructure, for example, HVAC. Washington Elementary Principal, our very own Ms. Andrea Hogan, was recognized by the Indiana University Northwest Department of Education Professor State Representative Vernon Smith as a key contributor and leader to supporting the pipeline of future educators. We are very proud of her. Ladies in Law. On October the 21st, I had the honor of escorting 7 young ladies from Black, Middle, and East Chicago Central High School to attend Ladies in Law, which was sponsored by the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce. They were mesmerized by all the attention they received. They sat at the table with judges to eat lunch, and I just watched them take it all in. It was awesome. We have some really great students. We just got to continue to expose them to opportunities to see the possibilities for their future. And we had the most students represented, just saying. Truancy officers, so effective today, our truancy officers are officially exclusive of East Chicago employees. We are sharing the cost with the city of East Chicago, and we want to thank you trustees for your continued commitment to support our students. You will hear more from them and what they do in the district later this month. They're going to present. Water filling stations, we have 30 of the 50 water filling stations done in our district. We have been purchasing bottled water to distribute to students. So this project will wrap up before Thanksgiving. We're also in the process of purchasing students a water bottle to get water as needed. Masks, just as a reminder, everyone who is inside our buildings or anyone who rides the bus must wear a mask. This is a requirement and not optional. We're working hard to keep our students and staff safe. We appreciate your support regarding the mask requirement. And last but least, no, next to last, we have a policy that was put out earlier today. I just wanted to share with everyone that's here. It's called the School City of East Chicago Board Policy 9130, which outlines specific process on how the board and the school district will address public complaints and concerns. And if you read the document, it's pretty straightforward. And lastly, because we won't meet again to November the 22nd, I wanted to say Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans that are out there. I'm a mom of a veteran, so that's one of those dates that's near and dear to my heart. And that's all I have. That's a lot. Okay, that's it.
Any individual trustee remarks? First off, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Finley. I want you guys to all know the transparency that she holds. Literally, that's the exact same sheet she gave us on Friday, giving us an update, and she's letting whoever's watching the community know exactly what she's giving us. We see the exact same thing. So thank you for being transparent. That's one of the things I know you keep saying, and you're definitely doing that. I want to also say Friday of last week was very cold and rainy day, but I want to thank all those from the School City of East Chicago for participating and representing our schools at the City of East Chicago's trunk or treat. We had almost all of our schools represented, and it was good for students to see children outside of the school building. Kids love that, and I'm glad that we were able to represent. Special shout out to Mrs. Sylvia Alvarez, because she went, I think, 2 or 3 trunk or treats on behalf of the school city. And that's after hours, and it's cold, and she took it upon herself to do that. So thank you to her. And also Mr. David Lane. In the beginning portion of the trunk or treat, we had over maybe 25 students from the National Honor Society, from girls basketball teams from different areas that participated in it were the ghouls and goblins of the Halloween trunk or treat. So I just love to see the partnerships between School City and City of East Chicago coming together to make other students happy. So thank you again for participating. And that's all for me. I also would like to send out condolences to the family of the child that we lost over the weekend. It's very heartbreaking when you have a student slide loss. And I thank everyone who has come together for the students of the City of East Chicago, as well as the staff. Literally, when we heard the news, called each other and everyone was on it, making sure that we had counselors ready to go. Dr. Finley reached out to mom, whatever is needed, please know our board will definitely support you and the family. Next, we move to public, trustee.
I just have one thank. I'd just like to thank the City of Chicago mayor and his staff for well ribbon cutting at the Black Stadium this past Saturday. I think it was well received, and I'm really surprised to see how big that place is. I think, the more I look at it, the more you say, hey, it has, there's like a banquet room / meeting room / there's so much opportunities you can do there. More importantly, I think it's going to be well received by not only the kids from Central, the baseball players, the Little League, and I just want to thank the city for inviting us.
Anyone else? Next we'll have public forum.
There's no one decided.
The next date and time for the meeting will be on, I think you had it run, Dr. Finley. The third Wednesday is the 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, it's okay. November 17th here, in our boardroom, and that'll be at 6 p.m. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Madam President, I make a motion for adjournment.
Trustee Williams makes a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Trustee Smith, seconds the motion. Roll call please. Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Williams.